Let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. When was the last time you did something that made your heart beat a little faster? When was the last time you said yes to something that scared you? If you're struggling to remember, then this story is for you. Because what I'm about to tell you is not just a story about one man. It's a story about a trap so comfortable, so quiet, so familiar, that most people never even realize they're inside it. His name was Aryan, 26 years old. From the outside, his life looked fine. He had a small room, a steady job, food on the table, a phone in his hand. Every single day looked the same. Wake up, scroll through his phone, go to work, come back, watch something on his screen until his eyes got heavy, sleep, then do it all again. He wasn't suffering, he wasn't in pain. But here's the thing about Aryan. He wasn't living either. Deep inside, there was this small voice, a whisper really. You were meant for more than this. But every time that voice showed up, Aryan had a way of making it quiet. He'd tell himself, not now, I'm tired. Maybe tomorrow. I'll start when things settle down. And just like that, the voice would fade, and Aryan would sink a little deeper into his chair, into his routine, into his comfort. Months passed, then a year. His friends started moving. One got a promotion. One started a small business. One moved to a new city, chasing something he believed in. Aryan watched all of it from the same chair, in the same room, living the same day on repeat. And slowly, a feeling started growing inside him. Not anger, not sadness exactly. It was something heavier. It was the feeling of watching your own life pass by, like a train you keep missing. He started scrolling more, watching more, sleeping more. Because the more he thought about how stuck he felt, the more he needed to escape that thought. He didn't know it then, but what he was doing was running from his own potential, running from the discomfort of trying, running from the possibility of failing. And the saddest part, his comfort zone felt like home. It felt like safety. It felt like the only place in the world where nothing could go wrong. But nothing could go right either. One evening, he was sitting by the window. The city outside was moving. Lights, cars, people walking fast like they all had somewhere to be. And Aryan just watched, hands around a cup of tea that had gone cold. And for the first time in a long time, he didn't reach for his phone. He just sat, in the silence, with himself. There was an old man who lived downstairs. His name was Mr. Khalid. He was 71. Quiet man, white beard, slow walk. But his eyes were sharp, like someone who had seen things, understood things, and made peace with most of them. That evening, Mr. Khalid came up to the rooftop, where Aryan had wandered after sitting too long. He stood beside Aryan, looked out at the city, didn't say anything for a while. Then he pointed to a bird, sitting inside an old broken cage that someone had left near the rooftop wall. The cage door was wide open, but the bird wasn't flying. It just sat there. Aryan looked at it. Why doesn't it fly? He asked. Mr. Khalid smiled, the kind of smile that holds a long story inside it. Because, he said slowly, it has forgotten that the door is open. He paused. It's been sitting in that cage so long that the cage stopped feeling like a cage. It started feeling like the world. He looked at Aryan then, didn't say anything else, just nodded once, and walked back downstairs. Aryan stood there, staring at that bird, and something shifted. Not loudly. There was no dramatic music, no sudden motivation, just a quiet, painful crack, somewhere deep in his chest, like something that had been frozen was finally starting to break. That night, Aryan couldn't sleep. He lay in his room and stared at the ceiling, and for the first time, he didn't run from the thought. He let it come. When did I stop trying? When did safe become enough for me? When did I start choosing the comfort of doing nothing over the discomfort of becoming something? He thought about that bird. That bird wasn't locked in. The door was open the whole time. And then the hardest thought came. What if I'm that bird?
What if my cage isn't made of iron bars or locked doors? What if my cage is made of fear, of habit, of the same excuses I've been repeating for years? He sat up. For a long time he'd been waiting to feel ready, waiting for the right moment, waiting for something outside him to change so he could finally start moving. But that night, he understood. The moment never comes to those who wait for it. The moment is created by the ones who move before they feel ready. He wasn't lazy. He was afraid. Afraid to try and fail. Afraid to want something and not get it. So instead, he wanted nothing. He tried nothing and called it comfort. But it wasn't comfort. It was a slow disappearance. Here's what that night taught Aryan, and what it might be trying to teach you right now. Your comfort zone is not evil. It's not your enemy. But it becomes your prison the moment you stop growing inside it. The moment you choose familiar pain over unfamiliar growth, the cage door closes. Not from the outside, from the inside. You close it. Every time you say, "Not now," you close it a little more. Every time you choose the scroll over the work, you close it. Every time you tell yourself, "You're not ready, not smart enough, not the right person," you're not protecting yourself. You're just making the cage smaller. The truth is, you were never meant to stay small. You were never meant to live the same day on repeat until the years run out. There is a version of you that is braver, sharper, more alive. But that version doesn't live in comfort. That version lives just past the edge of everything that scares you. Aryan woke up the next morning, and for the first time in a long time, he didn't reach for his phone first. He sat at his desk, opened a notebook, and started writing. He didn't know exactly where he was going. He didn't have a perfect plan. He wasn't ready, but he moved anyway, because he finally understood. The cage door was always open. It was always open. It was never the world keeping him in. It was just him, forgetting he had wings. Don't forget, the door is still open for you too. The only question is, how much longer are you going to sit there, pretending it isn't? If this story touched something inside you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Like this video, subscribe to the Wordy Tales, and come back, because the next story might be the one that changes everything.